Let's talk about Amazon. Okay, Amazon on a hiring spree without equal. The company has added 427,300 employees in 10 months, bringing its global workforce to more than 1.2 million. That's an average of 1,400 new workers a day. Let me say that one more time. That's an average of 1,400 new workers they hired per day, and solidifying its power as an online shopping becomes more entrenched on the coronavirus pandemic. The hiring has taken place at Amazon's headquarters in Seattle, at its hundreds of warehouses in rural communities and suburbs, and in countries such as India and Italy. With its new employees they hired, that's 50% higher than last year. The spree has accelerated since the onset of the pandemic, which has turbocharged Amazon's business and made its winner of the crisis. Starting in July, the company brought on board 350,000 employees, 2,800 a day. Most have been warehouse workers, but Amazon has also hired software engineers and hardware specialists to power enterprises such as cloud computing, streaming, entertainment, and devices, which has boomed in the pandemic. Okay, 427,300 employees. Tom, thoughts?
I think this is amazing. So for all those people that were saying Amazon's not hiring anybody, they're just going to put robots in all the warehouses and everything. Hey, you're wrong, baby. They're hiring people.
That's actually a good point.
It may not be a job that everybody wants, but there's a bunch of jobs out there in a clean warehouse where you can get some basic benefits and get a job.
What do you think about the protesting? People protesting saying you're not paying them well enough, you're not taking care of them, you're working their tails off, it's not fair. What do you think about all the protesting?
Look, you know, there is not a CEO out there that hasn't endured people wanting more. And I don't think that's such a big surprise. And everybody wants a living wage. But look, you know, if you're a part-time worker in a warehouse and everything, maybe that's not, you know, a full lifestyle job. And so I think entrepreneurs take it the chops too much. You're making jobs. Everybody's paying a little bit in taxes. You're adding to the economy. You're making enabled consumers can go buy other things. And somebody's going to be upset with you.
What do you think about it, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, to echo Tom's thoughts, a couple different thoughts. We pulled it up last time. If you go to relentless.com, relentless.com, I challenge everyone out there to pull up relentless.com and see what gets pulled up. Boom, Amazon.com. Just to kind of put their mentality out there. They bought relentless.com just to show like they ain't going nowhere, and they're going to keep hiring. I actually did some research. You know who the largest employers on the planet are? On the entire planet. The largest employers on the entire planet. I
mean, it's the government is the highest.
Correct.
Then
number
it's
one.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Is that the
no,
number?
you're absolutely right. U.S. Defense Department, 3.2 million people. Number two, the Chinese Army, 2.3 million people. What's that? What's the name of the Chinese Army? The People's Freedom Movement, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Chinese Army. Number three, Walmart, 2.1 million. Number four, McDonald's, 1.9 million. So now where is...
That's as of 2018, by the way.
Exactly. This is as of 2018.
Just
it's not 2020. Well, they haven't calculated... Obviously, 2020.
Just so you know, 2020 data, Walmart's at 2.4 million.
Okay, gotcha. So I need to step my game up.
But you got good data. They keep going.
Point is that Amazon last year wasn't even on the top 10 list, but now they're likely to be cracking the top 5 pretty soon. Kind of like what Tom said. You know, they get a bad name. The robots are going to put people out of work. They're hiring like crazy. What's the stat here? That 384,000 job applications just since September 16th, it says. So look, you're looking for a job, Amazon's got you, right? So respect to Amazon, like we talk about here. Entrepreneurs get a bad name, but here's
25,000 of those jobs with an average salary of $150,000 were supposed to be in New York until AOC and de Blasio pushed them out, and Cuomo said, what the hell are you guys doing?
That was a stupid move.
25,000 jobs at an average salary of $150,000 was supposed to be in New York, and de Blasio and AOC said, it's not fair. You're going to come and raise wages, and you're going to raise a lifestyle, and rent's going to go up. They're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
You got 25,000 jobs at $150,000, and they went elsewhere.
Plus thousands and thousands of other jobs. Those are the high-paid workers. I mean, obviously the people that are even just making $15 an hour or whatever it is in New York City that they pushed them out. It's sad.
Did you have another thought on this?
Yeah, just another thought. I mean, just to maybe end this argument, if not, I would say the two biggest entrepreneurs or the biggest names in the billionaire names in the world for the past few decades have been Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, unquestionably, straight up. Now, without question, You're talking Bezos and Musk now. Like the new guard is here. The old guard, obviously, Warren Buffett is what, 90 years old, somewhere around there.
I don't know if I would put Gates in the old guard because I think Gates is just getting started. You got to realize, Gates is how old? How old is Bill Gates?
He's in his mid-60s.
That's not old.
I'm not saying that.
That's not old. When you're worth $100 billion, guess who's your doctor?
He's 65. There it is. Yeah, 65.
Who's your doctor when you got $100 billion?
I'm not saying he's gone, but he's clearly not focused on business as much anymore. He's more about humanity.
Remember, Doogie Howser, the best doctor in the world. He's still young.
Doctor.
He's Bill Gates' doctor, probably.
Neil Patrick Harris.
That's
course.
right.
Doogie Howser.
Did you grow up to Doogie or not?
Love Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
I mean,
are you being sarcastic?
Yeah, no, I'm not sarcastic.
I can see you being a Doogie guy.
I mean,
I see you as a Doogie guy and a Melrose Place guy.
I'm more about doing the Dougie kind of a thing than the Doogie Howser. But can you do the Dougie?
No, I was never able to. I never really got into that show.
Well, Tom, I've seen you dance, and let me tell you, I guarantee you, your dance moves will get a lot more views online than Adam's dance moves.
I don't know about
my
that,
dance
Tom.
moves keep chiropractors employed.
Were you a Doogie Howser guy?
No, I just said that I was not a Doogie Howser.
You never. I could see you totally being.
Adam,
a Doogie
why are you
Howser
pissing
guy.
him off? He just said it for the third time. He's not a Doogie Howser. Tom's got the kind of a temper of a scientist.
Don't slap
in
me
Silicon
around.
Valley.
Soy Boy Mafia, come at you.
Let's go back to this topic. Let's go back to
Somehow we went from Amazon to Doogies.
Yeah,
that was
I'll
all
take
Pat.
the responsibility for that.
Don't blame the Doogie Howser thing.
But go back to this, Tom.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on this?
Here on Amazon, you can get all the old Doogie Howsers. I'm sure they've got like a bunch of links there to the old DVDs.
They probably do.
And you can still buy them as DVDs or download them from Amazon Video.
You're just plugging Amazon over here.
No, I'm not trying to plug Amazon. It's just, it's interesting you brought up, and there was a stat I thought you had looked up, Adam. It's like there's another 500,000 jobs out there that Amazon's created that are contract jobs for drivers.
Right.
And so you got drivers out there, and somebody was just rolling up here on one of the comments and was saying, "Hey, don't forget us truckers. We get contract jobs on Amazon. They move a lot of stuff." And so,
what's next for Amazon, Tom? I mean, if you're really thinking about it right now, the conversation that came up yesterday was monopoly. Mm-hmm. And hey, is anybody facing a monopoly right now? And Paul said, monopoly is when you own 100%. I said, monopoly is not 100%. I think monopoly is a 50% rule that they have. If you start getting more than 50% the target market, you start kind of facing monopoly type of issues. Used to be 75, some say 75, some say 50, but say it's around a 50% number that you're talking about.
Federal Trade Commission's got low radar, 51.0%,
there you go.
And then they come visit you in your lobby.
Is that visit going to be happening anytime soon, or is Walmart preventing them from being a monopoly?
I think Walmart. It'd be interesting to look at. The other day I was looking at Target. Target very quietly, didn't want to just be the number 3 guy that just died a lonely death, and they've done a lot with their online and delivery on COVID. But I believe that there is a move that is coming for Amazon, and maybe it's going to slow down under the Biden administration, but there is a move that's coming
from Target to compete with.
Well, yeah, I think there's a lot of people want the U.S. government to kind of clip their wings a little bit, and because it's not a bad thing if Sam's Club and Walmart, same thing, and Target and Amazon are all competing. I mean, that helps all of us a little bit.
Let me tell you, the fact that Target's in there, Target is helping Amazon from being, categorically an Amazon. Target's a savior right here for these guys. You take Target out, both Amazon and Walmart are in trouble.
Because for monopoly reasons.
No question about it. So Jeff Bezos,
them,
behind closed doors, secretly wants Target to do better. Jeff Bezos
for optics, for competition, for all that.
He's like, listen, Target, keep going at it, man. Take some market.
So? You think he's rooting for market share?
100%.
Rooting for Target.
100%. He's rooting for Target because when Kmart went out of business about a decade ago, I don't know if you remember, Kmart was the King Kong.
Kmart was huge before Walmart.
Super savings center. Kmart went out, hurt a lot of these guys. But now that Target's coming up, and there's some people that go to Target over Walmart. There's a lot of people that prefer.
Kai's one of them.
Well, Kai flirts at Target. That's where he picks up girls.
Well, Sam too.
So some people go to Tinder. Kai goes to Target is where he goes to flirt.
He's doing it.
In the Army at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, the place to go flirt was at Walmart at Clarksville.
Nice.
But that was 24 years ago, so it's a different story.
How many teeth did those ladies have?
How many teeth?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. At least 7.
Nice.
It was good community.
Nice. That's a nice.
Tell us what you got.
Final thoughts, like something that Tom brought up yesterday. You wanted to talk about. You know, speaking of where you used to go pick up chicks and all that fun stuff, you know, Kai goes to Target, Sam goes to the mall. We talk about the malls here. We're talking about these big anchor stores, the Sears, the J.C. Penney's, the Lord & Taylor's, what have you. Now they're becoming Amazon fulfillment centers, and a lot of these dying malls are going to have to be more amusement park, crazy, fun vibes to, I mean, when we can all get out there in public again, kind of get out there, take the family and have fun with it. But a lot of these anchor stores will be or are becoming Amazon fulfillment centers. I believe you had a thought with that, did you not, with the fulfillment centers?
Oh yeah, I think that, so the malls. Well, first of all, commercial office space is we could do a whole discussion about what's happening in commercial office space with work from home and everything.
Smell a case study.
But I think, you know, you get these, you know, it's not. You still have to go get stuff, right? And I saw a picture in New York. It was very interesting. It was this brownstone had been built, and people can't get in at night because there's this little skinny hallway. And inside there, they're floor to ceiling. They have all the Amazon boxes because they have someone that brings all the boxes in so that the pirates don't snatch it off the porch. And they're stacked up on the inside. And it used to be you would walk in, you have this little tiny area, and then you put your key in, you get your mail. Now there's just floor to ceiling with all these Amazon boxes, groceries, and everything like that. I really think that there's these, you take a look at Whole Foods, you got all the Amazon lockers for the little stuff out front. Once you start getting even bigger than this, it's like all of us are going to need like something 3 times the size of our high school hallway locker, where each day we just go get our stuff, because it's not just little stuff. And I don't know how much you're going to be able to deliver. So I
think commercial real estate is done. Like, you think it's going to have a massive decline like newspapers did 20
change.
years ago?
What are we doing with the space? You know, what are we going to do?
But I'm asking you, like, do you think they're the next newspaper?
I don't think they're the next newspaper, but they're in bad place.
But watch what you're saying. It's a little bit contradictory, because I'm actually really curious with this, Tom, and I want to get your feedback, because when Elon Musk did an interview, what was 2 years ago, when he kept saying the biggest threat to humanity is what? AI. You know, everything's going to be replaced. Jobs are going to be replaced. And then you had Andrew Yang's campaign, which was $1,000, you know, universal basic income. You know, everybody's got to get $1,000 because AI. And then Amazon employs 427,000 people during pandemic, which everyone's working from home. So do you understand what I just said right there? So during the season where everybody's working from home, Amazon hires 427,000 people. And so then the conversation becomes about commercial, because I got a lot of commercial real estate guys that call me and say, Pat, I disagree with you. Commercial real estate is doing very well, and people are always going to need office space. I'm like, I don't know if they need it. Many industries don't need it. But actually, from your point of view, do you really think commercial real estate could be as bad as newspapers? Or are they still going to have to figure out a way to come back and recover?
I think some of it will be repurposed, and does somebody get smart and repurpose it? So does somebody in commercial real estate pull a Target and say, I'm not going to get crushed. I'm going to find a way to live in this, and I'm going to repurpose my space. I'm going to do things like this. I think that's the first avenue. The second avenue is, I take a look at something I was reading, and I don't want to plug, major credit card company, right? That we all know. It's the one with the highest fees, but a lot of services, and it's the one you have to pay every month. Well, they have, like, their entire call centers are working from home. They come up, they turn on their headset. They've got these secure loops that they've done through what's called a VPN tunnel. So they open up their laptop at home, and they're on duty, and they're doing their stuff, looking at your charges, looking at things on there in a secure way. And so the entire call center is working from home, which has eliminated the need for an Atlanta, a Phoenix, and a Miami excess space in their call centers. So somebody's going to pay out the lease on those commercial contracts.
Are you talking about American Express? Or was that Discover?
Well, it's your podcast. I was waiting for you to plug it. I want to say it out loud.
But here's my question for you.
But yes, that's right. It was Amex.
Here's my question for you. I trust your brain and your processing. If we, right now, the three of us, own $2 billion of commercial real estate in America, pre-pandemic, okay, we're doing okay. We're 85%, fully occupancy. We're doing okay. Money's coming in. We're doing fine, and we're sitting on it. COVID hits. We lose people. A lot of our guys cannot pay us. What's your next move? What are you doing? $2 billion of commercial real estate across the country. What are we doing, Tom?
Well, the first thing that we do is, because all commercial real estate is levered, is even though we're in a COVID pandemic, we got to go to New York and we got to refinance that debt. Because at least...
Okay, so number one move is refinance the debt. So what's next?
Yeah, so now you got to get... And by the way, if we've got that kind of number, we got 2 guys that report to Jamie Dimon seeing us with that kind of, you know what I'm
Sure,
saying?
yeah.
That's a big number.
Sure.
So first of all, we got to refinance the debt. And the next thing we got to take a look around on is how do we make this usable?
What do you do with that? What do you do with that?
You know, you got like old mall space. I think you could do Amazon delivery centers, pickup centers. There's a lot of things,
It's
but
interesting.
it's
Yeah,
kind of
think about
scary.
it. It's a scary place to be.
Well,
If
you originated this conversation with what's going to happen. I mean, just think from a macro perspective.
Yeah.
Are more people going to be working from home or going back, less or more working from home long term? Long term, 2, 3, 5 years from now, are more people going to be working from home versus where they were in 2019?
Well,
obviously the answer is for sure they're going to be working from home more.
here's one thing for
Yeah.
sure that cannot be happening if you're working from home. If they do shut down with schools and kids are staying home, there's no way in the world that's going to be working from home. It's just not going to work out. If they're not having kids go home,
I'm talking 2, 3 years from now. There's a vaccine. Kids are back in school.
no, I think
Yada,
people will be
yada,
at the
yada.
offices. I think
You
people,
think, but
I think
not as
in-
much as they were in 2019.
no question about
So
it.
meaning this commercial office space.
The game has
If there was
changed.
90% occupancy,
game has changed.
Now it'll be 70,
Yeah,
60,
the game has changed.
50.